Okay, so today we're talking about multiplying out polynomials that have I in them. And basically you just multiply them out like it was an A instead of an I. You just multiply it out the same way. But then, when you get to the part at the end and there's usually an I squared in the problem, you have to know that I squared is really what? -1. And if I squared is really -1, then this 14I squared means 14 times -1, which means -14. So it's really 6I minus 14, and why would I get it wrong? It's not in the correct order. Because why? Because the imaginary stuff is supposed to be last. So I'm going to say -14 plus 6I, and it'll be the exact same thing, but in the right order. And now it's totally right. Any questions about that, or question in general? Issues with the internet? Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to number 7. Got it working? Good. -3 times the -3. I'm doing FOIL here. -3 times -3 makes 9. And then outside would make, negative times negative is positive 12I. And the inside would make, these guys, -6I. And then the lasts, which are this and this, I would get -8I. And oh, it's so common for people to forget the squared. If you're doing an I times an I, you're going to get an I squared. Now I can simplify it a little bit by putting some stuff together, like that and that can go together. So now I have 9 plus 6I minus 8I squared, and the I squared can be simplified to be a -1. Just in case you don't know why that is, it's because it's I times I, and I is square root of -1, times the other I is a square root of -1, and when you do two square roots times each other that are the exact same thing, then the answer is whatever's underneath them. That's why I squared is -1. All right, so now this is going to become, be careful here, not -8, positive 8. You get that? Because it was already a -8. I times it by another negative makes it positive 8. Positive 8 plus the 9 makes 17, so 17 plus 6I is your final answer for that one. All right, that's all there is to it. Today is going to be an easy day. The cool thing is, once you've learned this, you just got another point on the ACT. Am I positive this problem will be on the ACT? No, but they have problems with I squared on them very regularly. They have it in their list of things we can test you on. So knowing about I squared helps you for the ACT when you take it someday. All right, that's all I got for the video for today. It's a very short one because we've talked about this enough times. Just replace that I squared with a -1 and simplify from there. I'm going to double check the bottom of the worksheet just to make sure there isn't something sneaky thrown in at the end that you guys would need to know about. And nope, this just, all this is, like on number 13, the challenge question. I really don't want to do the challenge question, take away all the challenge. But all you're supposed to do on this is verify that those answers would actually work to be the roots, the solutions, and the roots usually are in parentheses. So I'm going to just say if you put those guys in parentheses like you normally would to factor something, see if you can verify it that way. It's a little cryptic, but I don't want to take away the challenge of the challenge problem. All right, that's all I have.